Please welcome Ashley Smyk, Principal, Technical Program Management.
My name is Ashley Smyk. I'm a Principal Technical Program Manager at AWS. Fun fact, I just celebrated my 10-year anniversary. So thank you. At Amazon, we get different colored badges. So I've now graduated from the yellow badge to the red badge. So very intimidating in my 10 years. So, some of you that have been in some of my sessions before, specifically the jam yesterday, I always like to get a good woo going on. So how about woo to day 2? Exactly, nothing gets the energy started like that. So as they're sorting we're having some technical difficulties. As they're sorting my slides, we're going to be talking today about, leading with empathy and compassion in an AI-generated world, right? In the rapidly evolving landscape of technology, AI has emerged as a cornerstone of innovation that is reshaping industries like healthcare, education, improving businesses through automation, efficiency, and data analysis, and as well as altering the fabric of our daily lives through our personal recommendations from apps, to our smart homes, to our smartphones, as well as autonomous vehicles. So now, raise your hand if you regularly use AI. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. And according to a Pew Research study, 55% of Americans said that they regularly use AI, while 44% said they do not, which has me thinking that the 44% that said they do not realize how embedded AI is into our everyday lives. So now, raise your hand if you use AI such as ChatGPT or Gemini to respond to a text or an email. Yeah, I know, we do it a lot. But now keep your hand up if you actually take a look at what that AI-generated response was, and you actually modified it based on the tone or feeling. I mean, I know it's not, you're like, okay, maybe not, but good for you. That's what we're here to talk about today. So, according to Forbes Advisor's top AI statistics and trends from October of 2024, there are top ways that consumers plan to use AI. And when you can see the versatility, it really transforms our everyday tasks. But responding to messages and emails, drafting emails, and generating social media posts are all in the top 6 use cases. So when it comes to leading with empathy and compassion, this can be somewhat concerning. While LLMs are trained on a vast amount of text data, including emotional language, they are not technically designed to understand and possess emotions like empathy and compassion, which are complex human experiences. So to get the best from AI, we need to equally invest in the development of our human potential as well. Alone, neither is sufficient, both are necessary. So in order to successfully adapt and benefit from AI, you must leverage both the power of AI, but also your human qualities. And what are those human qualities? Those human qualities start with empathy and compassion. Empathy is the ability to share the feelings of another person in that room. It's essentially putting yourself in the person's shoes and experiencing their feelings and their perspectives. It involves both emotional intelligence and understanding and capacity to be able to see other people's emotions. And then compassion goes beyond empathy. It's not just understanding the feelings of what others feel. It's about having the desire to care for their well-being. When you lead with empathy and compassion, you do so in ways that help your friends, your colleagues, employees, if you're a manager, feel valued and respected. And being an empathetic leader combines your empathy and compassion based on your own personal experiences. And I know this might sound crazy to some of you, but not everybody is self-aware or emotionally mature enough to realize and practice compassion and empathy. So for me personally, being an empathetic leader and looking back on my own personal experiences that helped me and my skills of compassion, empathy started when I was young, right? It's how we grew up. It was our life experiences, being the first one out of my family to get a bachelor's degree, the experience of losing my #1 fan, my dad, in 2022, unexpectedly. By the way, happy birthday, Tony the Tiger. His birthday was yesterday. And thanks. And being faced with a breast cancer diagnosis at 2012, navigating that channel, only to be re-diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer in 2022, followed by all of the volunteering that I do. I volunteer for others because I feel compassion and I feel empathy that not everybody is in the same situation as I am, and I want to be there to help them. And then, of course, it's not all doom and gloom. It's also when you have a new child, or in my case, a new mini sheepadoodle. Her name is Willow, and pretty much every presentation, I make sure Willow's in. But there are some risks, right? There are some risks that AI can bring to empathy. It can both enhance and hinder those connections. So a few risks just to be aware of is the emotional detachment, right? So as we increasingly interact through digital interfaces and AI-powered systems, there's a risk of becoming emotionally detached from real human connection. There's that face-to-face interaction. Reducing that face-to-face can actually reduce the interactions and the feelings, and which are actually crucial for maintaining your own and developing your own sense of sympathy and compassion. There's also the automated response risk. We all know, especially when you're a business and you're thinking about customer service, how many times are you calling or you're chatting and you're just like, I need a customer service representative. And you're like at the point where you're just like yelling, customer service, customer service. I feel that deep in my soul. Empathy skill development, though, this is like particularly for younger generations, this is so important. There is an over-reliance on AI-mediated interactions that are actually going to impact the development of empathy skills that typically come from human-to-human interaction. I think about my nieces and nephews who are just constantly glued to their screens, and then at the age of 9 think they need a cell phone. I was like, I didn't get a cell phone until I went to college. So it is definitely changing our future generations. And the key concern is not that AI itself is harmful, but rather that without the conscious effort to maintain those interactions and think about the emotional intelligence, it really could erode the capacity for genuine and emotional understanding of one another. So don't walk away thinking it's all doom and gloom, because it's quite the opposite. The true power of AI lies in enhancing the human interactions at work, at school, and in our personal lives, not replacing them. So as I was doing research for this, I found this incredibly powerful quote, and now I have to read this book by Amy Jen Su. She's the author of the book, The Leader You Want to Be, 5 Essential Principles for Bringing Out Your Best Self Every Day. And it says, while the rise of AI prompted a reflexive shift in the focus of technology itself, the truth is, in order to successfully adapt and benefit from AI, you must leverage both the power of AI and develop your most human qualities. So my call to action to you today is make that conscious effort, make that conscious choice in your technology use. Be deliberate with your communication, proofread and modify AI-generated responses before you respond to that email or text. If you're prompt engineering, consider using specific prompts or instructions that guide LLMs to produce more empathetic and more compassionate responses. Maintain and build those personal relationships. From a business perspective, we want to make sure our customers are having the best experience. We want to make sure that we're empathizing with them. We want to give them a positive experience when they're interacting with our AI chatbot. So lastly, pay it forward. We just talked about the younger generation. teach empathy and compassion skills to future generations, that this might be a foreign concept. It's still a foreign concept for some adults, but the more we can do to band together and help others, the better. So with that, I say thank you very much for your time.